In the NBA, you can rebuild well or you can't. Here's 3 examples of each. OKC, the obvious one. They got enough draft capital to buy an island in the Caribbean and current talent to fully contend for the championship. Yes, I said it. Looking at Chet Holmgren's rookie performance, yes, the OKC could win the title as soon as this year. They are that well equipped. Great offense, great defense in every aspect of the game. And this was achieved through smart trades. OKC is not a desirable destination for NBA stars, so instead, talent was racked up from trades such as the Russell Westbrook trade and of course, the Paul George trade, which lands them Jalen Williams and SGA. Really, it's such a well-run franchise that I don't think they need to trade for a superstar, which they still could since they got enough draft picks for it. But SGA and Chet are special. With Mark Dagnall as a good head coach, this team could be the next Spurs, a well-run organization with players committed to its long-term objective. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, they did have a rebuild. Following the Jimmy Butler era, as funny as it was, the franchise was down the drain. But with a bit of luck and smart dealings, they're on the top of franchises in the league now, and for years to come. First up, they were blessed to get Anthony Edwards, who has franchise player written on him, an aged cat who's still good and can be a good mentor to Ant, and very importantly, smart asset management. The amount of players who came to Minnesota as thrown away and came out as solid role players is crazy. Jared Vanderbilt, Jalen McDaniels, Slow-Mo, Taurean Prince, Malik Beasley, Naz Reid. It feels like the organization can turn dirt into gold, which was really needed considering how sloppily the Rudy Gobert trade still is. Yes, they gave away too much, but they did recuperate, and Rudy is back to his DPOY talents, with the Wolves having the second best offense and defense in the league. Finally, the Orlando Magic. This is a massive team, just physically, with the front office taking similar approaches to a rebuild as the previous two teams combined. Yes, they got high draft pick talent. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are franchise players, but also great asset managing as well. Mainly one move that sets them up for the next decade, the Vooch trade, which importantly bagged them Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner again. They're good, second seed, and probably will be for quite some time. Teams that messed up the rebuild. The Houston Rockets. They have great talent, but one big mistake has ruined this rebuild completely. The Russell Westbrook trade, quite simply, this team talent-wise was looking good. Franchise point guard, shooting guard, power forward, and center. All they needed was just one more year to get experience for those young guys, and the last piece of their young core, OKC style. But speaking of OKC, they have Houston's pick this year because of the Westbrook trade. Therefore, Houston needs to panic and try and contend with players who just aren't ready. On a lackluster free agent market, there's no reason Amen Thompson should be on the bench, as well as Cam Whitmore in the G League. Honestly, if I was Houston, I'd rather take the hit and still tank, not receiving a pick, than ruining your young players' development, connection to the organization, and overall team chemistry. Yes, they're good now, but without player attachment to the organization, that just won't last. The only positives I have is Ime Udoka proves himself still to be a great coach and the X factor which boosted the Celtics to what they are today. And Dylan Brooks honestly was a good pickup. The Charlotte Hornets. This organization in its current state is just a tragedy. We have to accept that LaMelo, similar to his brother, is injury prone, and the only other two players that are young enough that are worthy of mentioning from this multi-year rebuild is someone who shouldn't even be in the league, and Brandon Miller. Respect to Brandon Miller though, he's a good motivated player and I'd say we all wish him the best success in his career. But really, the only players in a multi-year rebuild that have franchise value is LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. I'm hoping for Hornet fans that this new ownership fully commits to a tank, instead of remaining in mediocrity. Signing guys like Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier was just not it, keeping them in mediocrity. They were lucky still to get the number 2 pick last year, as they originally predicted the number 4 pick. Charlotte, it's simple, just embrace the tank. Still, if you can, maybe maybe in a few years, you may be able to actually tend with the bare bones of this roster. Finally, it's on. The Detroit Pistons. What happened? Tell me, man. This team should be good. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Asor Thompson, Jalen Duren, even guys like Bojan Bogdanovic, James Wiseman, Marcus Sasser, and Marvin Bagley, who aren't even that bad. How is this team still the worst in the league? A question so confusing, but it has a simple answer. A single answer. A single man. Monty Williams. Why, for the start of the season, did Killian Hayes start over Jaden Ivey? That idea right there, any man of a sane mind would question that move. That explains what's wrong with the Pistons right now. This team, every single player, is clearly just not on the same page. They're playing for themselves, not the team. I blame Monty Williams as a coach. It's his job that he's paid more than anyone else for to ensure his players are committed and understand his vision for the team. Thanks for watching.